Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Netflix's newest original release has also become its most widely watched in its first week, breaking the record for 2024, despite a rather underwhelmed critical reception. Eddie Murphy's new sequel, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F., marks his fourth movie in the comedy franchise, and has become Netflix's most successful film of the year upon release so far. As with most new films on the streaming platform, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. topped the charts in its first week of release, but it captured 41 million views, which is more than any other film has managed on Netflix during its initial release. This is based on 80,700,000 hours viewed of the movie according to Tudum, with Netflix working out its final estimation of how many times it was watched by dividing that number by its 1 hour 58-minute runtime. Of course, the streamer also likes to assume that each film viewing on its platform by an account holder equates to an average of 2 people watching together, so it's possible as many as 82 million people may have watched it so far. The next film to do so well in its first week of release was Millie Bobby Brown Vehicle Damsel, despite claims it was a knockoff Hunger Games. To view this video, please enable JavaScript, and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. Damsel managed 35.3 M views in its first week, before going to become the biggest new film yet of the year when it entered Netflix's all-time top 10. However, it's worth noting that Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. was released on a Wednesday rather than Netflix's traditional choice of a Friday for its new films. When compiling its weekly top 10 charts, Netflix runs its data from Monday through Sunday, meaning that usually a film's first week is in fact merely its first 3 days on the streamer. For example, that's how long it took Jennifer Lopez's $100 million sci-fi action movie Atlas to clock in a healthy 28 M views, whereas Axel F. was afforded 2 days more on release to gather its 41 M. Second in this week's charts is A Family Affair, the age-gap rom-com with Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman that was also damned with faint praise as a laundry film when it was released. The film was not exactly universally praised upon its release, with The Observer dubbing it lazy, formulaic stuff that diminishes the brash brilliance and danger of Eddie Murphy's early career work, while Newsday's reviewer quipped, "The heat is definitely off." Meanwhile, Washington Post described Axel F. as the cinematic equivalent of trying on your prom suit from 1984. Maybe it still fits, but not in the places it used to, and if you try to moonwalk, you'll probably get a hernia. Remember when Martin Scorsese said that streaming platforms were transforming cinema into meaningless commercial content and then everyone pilloried him for it? Behold, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. sniped the Times in its 2-star review. However, it still sits on a respectable 67% fresh score on review aggregator site Rotten Tomatoes. That's also far from the lowest of the franchise, with that dubious honor belonging to Beverly Hills Cop 3 on an utterly awful 11%. The 1980s original, meanwhile, boasts an impressive certified fresh 82% rating, while the first sequel plummets down to 48%. Many fans also loved Axel F., with Rachel Book posting on X, "Caught up with the new Beverly Hills Cop last night. Loved it. Very funny, with the action coming thick fast, a lot reminiscent of before. I particularly liked the helicopter sequence. Would have been a great cinema release." Explosive Netflix thriller with Liam Neeson dubbed his best film since Taken. The Bear fans shocked to discover Star's father is a Hollywood legend. An erotic film with real sex between actors is now on Netflix. BBC heartthrob now top 3 contender to be the next James Bond. Fanmarkia also insisted that the movie's producers had nailed it. Over 20 years since the last one? Yeah, they snapped. Meanwhile, Nick Coppin argued that it was far from being the best in the franchise, but more than good enough to help forget that Wally World nonsense which preceded it. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. is streaming on Netflix now. More, most unhinged movie performances as Nicolas Cage induces nightmares with Longlegs role. More, how a budget horror bagged $22 million at the box office by hiding its A-list star.